Hi everyone, I'm Liz, and welcome back to Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch for Flosstube episode 94. Welcome back to another Flosstube episode. I'm Liz, and I'm here to talk to you about all of my stitching and sewing and crafting and cross-stitch finishing because I've been doing a lot of different things this week. So thank you guys so much for joining me again. I hope everybody's had a good 2 weeks. I've had a very good, pretty relaxing, fun 2 weeks. Last weekend, my mom and I went to the Houston International Quilt Show, or Quilt Festival, I think they call it, which is amazing. I've been probably 10 times before. I'd love to go every year, but I don't make it every year, but I always love going. The shopping is great, and the quilt show itself with like all of the amazing quilts that people make. It's just like so inspirational. They're never really quilts that like I'm gonna make because I don't make like quilt show level quilts, but just the like inspiration and ideas and just seeing how people use fabric and what they do with it is really cool and inspiring, and just always makes me want to come home and sew everything immediately. So that was great. The day that we were in Houston last weekend was Saturday, which is also the day that the Astros won the World Series in Houston. So that was kind of fun because we actually went in Friday night and stayed with my cousin, my mom's niece, and her husband and kids. We stayed at their house in Spring, Texas. And Saturday morning, we went to the quilt show, and downtown was like setting up for the World Series game and eventual, celebration, which was pretty cool to see. Minute Maid Park is just like a couple blocks away from the convention center where the quilt show was. So it was kind of fun to be like in the city during that. But I was back home in Austin by Saturday night to watch the game. So I didn't get to watch it in Houston, but it was still fun. I'll go through kind of what we did at the show and what I bought later on in the video. But yeah, what else have I been up to? Just a lot of work. And we have a friend in town. He came in on Wednesday night. One of Rob's best friends and groomsmen from the wedding. He lives in Orlando now, and he came in. He actually there's a hurricane in Florida on Wednesday night, right? And so he flew out Wednesday at like 2:45 p.m. and I think it was like the last Southwest flight out of the Orlando airport before they shut it down for the evening. So he got out of Florida right before the hurricane, but I don't think it was too bad of one. At least I know where he lives with his dad. Like it's not, it wasn't too much damage. So hopefully none of you guys were too affected by it. Not like the last one y'all had. Ugh. We get tornadoes and like crazy storms here, but not like hurricanes. I mean, when they hit the Gulf Coast, like we'll get the like rain showers afterwards, but we don't get like the crazy winds or anything. I am not jealous of those who do. Oh, and in case you're wondering why I busted out the Santa sweater, it is because we woke up this morning. I'm filming this on Saturday night. So we woke up Saturday morning to like 40-degree weather. A cold front blew in on Friday here in Central Texas, and it was like super stormy all day Friday. And then the temperature just started dropping as soon as it got dark. So it feels like winter here. It feels like Christmas time. So I was like, I'm going to work on Christmassy things only today, which I did. And I'm going to dress Christmassy for the video. And it also just feels super cozy because it's kind of cold in the house. I haven't wanted to turn the heater on yet because I feel like the temperature is just going to immediately go back up in a couple days. But anyways, I wanted to be cozy tonight while filming, so I thought I would put on a Christmas sweater. And I think, well, everything except for one thing I have to show you that I worked on is Christmas. So yeah, I think I'm just going to be full on Christmas mode for the rest of my videos for the rest of the year. Oh, and I have been thinking about Stitchmas. Stitchmas is I don't even remember if I made it up or if I saw somebody else doing it. I can't remember, but it was a thing I did last December where I posted videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, every week in December. And they were like tutorials and, Yeah, I think mostly tutorials, right? I'm trying to remember what all I did. I think they were mostly tutorials and kind of how I do certain things and just little fun videos. And I really want to do it again this year, but I don't think I have time to do 12 videos basically if I do Monday, Wednesday, Friday for 4 weeks. So I don't think I can say I'm for sure going to do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but I have a list of videos and I have a week off for Thanksgiving coming up. And so I have a lot of fun things that I want to film. So I'm hoping to have more videos than usual in December. And I'll also, of course, have my like normal Flosstube videos, but I thought it'd be fun to do some other kind of little standalone videos because I have some ones that I've been prepping that I've talked to you guys about, like the project portfolio and the EPP, the English paper piece hexagon project bag. I have that coming up. And just a few other things that have been sitting around that need to be finished that I think I could film a little tutorial on. So, oh yeah, and I have like, well, I'll show you when I get to it. I have a finish that's also going to be in that pile. Okay, let's just get into what I have FFO'd, finished, and stitched. Why am I explaining this? I do the same thing every video. I'm sure you guys know what's coming. FFOs. Okay, so the first fully finished object this week was also a start, finish, and FFO, all since I saw you last. I'm pretty proud of that one. I actually think I might have even got the chart after my last video. Like, I don't even think I showed you this in haul. You know, correct me if I'm wrong, but this is what I started and finished and fully finished this week. And it is from Sue Hillis Designs, and it's a hoop-de-doo. And I think it's called Feed Me, right? Yes. Feed Me. And I made this as a Christmas gift. I'm not going to say who. I don't think she watches my videos, but just to be safe, you know, I won't reveal who's going to get this for Christmas. And yeah, so I wanted to get this one done, and I stitched this up so fast. I think it only took 2.5 nights of stitching. And here is the finish. So I followed the instructions that came in the chart on how to do this hoop finish. And actually I took a little video, but first let me tell you. Whoop. So I stitched this on the called for 32 count Vintage Country Mocha and finished it as called for in the pattern with a 5-inch embroidery hoop wrapped in fabric, and tied a little bow and added a hanger to it. I really do wish I'd had a kind of a green gingham ribbon to use, but I didn't have any in my stash, so I just used this black and white. I might try to order, if I can find like a nice green or maybe a brown gingham ribbon to switch this out with, because this is just tied on for right now. But, you know, I think it looks super cute. And I used all of the called for DMC colors, and this was so much fun to stitch. So much fun. I have only one other Sue Hillis finish, or not even a finish, a whip, which is that Christmas reindeer box finish that I've been working on. I showed it a couple videos ago. Sorry, I can't remember the name of it now. But her style is just very, I want to say 90s, except this doesn't feel 90s to me, but it just feels like that kind of style of cross stitch where everything is kind of multi-colored, shaded, backstitched, really detailed. And I just find it really satisfying to stitch. It's kind of like stitching a Cricut collection type pattern, and especially when it's a small one, because it can get tedious on a larger project, but on something small like this, I don't know why I find it so satisfying, but I really do. And I think the plants turned out so realistic and cute, you know, just like, I don't know. I just feel like this is an awesome design and an awesome chart. And I don't know if the cover photo would necessarily sell everyone. I mean, it's cute, but I'm here to tell you, if you have a plant lover in your life, you need to get this chart and stitch it for them. It's so cute. So I did take a little finishing video of this for you. I followed the instructions in the pattern booklet, but I took a little little sped up finishing video for you guys to see how I finished it. So I'll let that play now. so that is how I finished my little hoop. Just wrapped the hoop with fabric. I added this piece of mat board to the back to finish it off, as you saw, and I think it turned out so cute. This was my first time ever finishing something in a hoop, and I will definitely do this more. In fact, I'll show you, well, I can just show it to you right now. I have one more hoop because Amazon sold them in a 2-pack. And also, you know what? I'm going to link these hoops below because the pattern tells you this, which is really nice, but it tells you do not use the bamboo hoops, the like $3 bamboo hoops, because they're just going to splinter and not be very sturdy. These are super, super nice. I think they're beech wood. I'll put a link to them on Amazon down below. Super long screw here, so it'll expand really wide to accommodate your fabric when you wrap it. And just super nice quality, like super smooth, no rough edges. And it was only, I think, $6 or $7 a hoop. I bought it as a 2-pack, so I think it was around $15, but highly recommend this kind of hoop if you are going to finish in the hoop. So love, love, love this finish. Love how it turned out, and I'm really excited to gift it because I think the person who gets it is really going to love it. Okay, I have one other FFO to show you, and that is my Holly Jolly Santa quilt. And here it is. Yeah, love, 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 love. I'll put some more pictures up on the screen as I talk so you can see it in more detail. But I got my quilt quilted by Keystone Sisters Quilting, who did an excellent job. And I asked for kind of a Baptist fan all over pattern. I think I showed it to you guys last week, right? In progress, they were working on it. So I got it in the mail earlier this week and had to immediately put the binding on. And then you can see the binding. I just use this really thin bias candy cane stripe where it's printed on the bias, so I don't have to actually cut bias strips. Yeah, I'm just so happy with this quilt. And I forgot, it's like actually a really good size. It's like, it would be definitely a good like little kid Christmas quilt. It's not small enough for me to really like, you know, wrap up in or anything, but it's going to go on the wall. It's going to replace where I have a Halloween wall hanging right now. This one is going to go up in its place, and I cannot wait. It's going up as soon as I get done filming this. I used the Holly Jolly by Urban Chicks Santa panel as this center panel. And then I used a Holly Jolly layer cake to cut 2.5-inch squares for my kind of checkerboard borders. And to assemble the checkerboards, I used 2.5-inch gridded fusible interfacing, which is amazing for doing this kind of work. I mean, you just lay all the squares out on it, iron them down, and then fold and sew. And it just keeps everything perfectly lined up, and you don't have to worry about your seams matching. Everything matches up. It's amazing. So if you're doing something with a lot of little tiny 2.5-inch squares where strip piecing won't really work, I recommend the fusible. I'll link to the stuff that I've used before from Bozell and from other, I think there's one from Amazon I like, but yeah, just super, super happy with how this quilt turned out. And I'll pop a picture of the back up on the screen here, and you can see I used leftover layer cake squares and some leftover kind of white with red snowflake print that I had from another quilt I made last year. Yeah. So, yeah, that is my Holly Jolly Santa quilt. Okay, and I have one finish that has not been fully finished yet, and this one is Doodles Christmas by Heart and Hand. And I think I showed you guys this in my haul last week, or last episode 2 weeks ago, and I could not resist starting this immediately, and I finished it because it's a small one and it's just super fun to work on. The colors are luscious and rich and like jewel toned and beautiful and just so like vintage Christmas, which is just what I love. So here is my finish of Doodles Christmas. And I stitched mine on 40 count vintage country mocha. She calls for 32 count vintage country mocha, but I wanted to finish this one as a pillow. And so I wanted to stitch mine a little bit smaller. So it'd be a nice, you know, little kind of 4x4 pillow or something like that. So I used all the called for flosses, which again are just absolutely gorgeous. so pretty. I want to like I'm going to keep all this floss on this ring because I have some other Christmassy projects that I want to start where I think I want to use this color palette. I'll show you that in haul. I have something in mind for these colors. I used, yeah, all the called for floss, the beads, everything. And for one of my Stitchmas videos, I'm going to do a little pin pillow tutorial with some velveteen and some trim to turn this into a little pillow to sit up in my Christmas pillow bowl. Yeah, just so happy with this finish. This is the second one of the Doodles series that I've stitched. I have several of them. I probably have all of them that she's released, but they're all super cute, but like this one was an immediate have to stitch it right this second. So yeah, super cute. Okay, so for cross stitch whips, I had one new start, and this is something I think I got in the last 2 weeks and started. I don't think I've shown you this yet, but this came, I ordered this from Fat Quarter Shop, and it is called Waiting for Santa by Cottage Needleworks. Oops. Sorry for the glare, hopefully you can see it. Just like a super cute 2-story house with little kids in the window and the milk and cookies for Santa. I am stitching this one as a gift, and it's for my sister Allison, and she sometimes watches my videos, but she hasn't been lately, so I don't think she's gonna see this. Mom, don't tell her. If she watches, but I don't think she does. So anyways, I'm making this for her, and since I'm making it for her, instead of a boy and a girl and a dog, I am changing the windows to have 3 little boys in them because she has 3 little boys. But otherwise, I'm stitching it as called for. So here is where I'm at. I have made a lot of progress this week. I started it last Sunday where I literally had nothing to do because we had been in Houston most of the day Friday and Saturday, and then I was home Saturday night. And so on Sunday I was like, I'm not going to do anything other than stitch. And so I watched like 9 hours of football and stitched. I posted, I'll post the pic here. I posted this pic on my Instagram stories that night with my progress, and so many people responded with like, that's 1 day of progress, or 1 day of progress. And I had to explain to many people like 9 straight hours of stitching. Like I did not move. I was a complete stitching slug, like just on the couch, stitching, watching football. So anyways, yes, it was 1 day progress, but like it was an especially good day of progress. Anyways, I have stitched a lot since then, and I am making really good progress, I think. The only reason that you see that this border is not extended is because I hadn't decided fully if I was going to stitch the border, because I kind of wanted to see exactly how big the house was and measure it, because I have an idea for finishing, and I think an 8x10 frame. And so I wanted to see kind of how big this was without the border and how it looked without the border before I decide if I'm fully going to stitch it. But I kind of think I do want to add the border now. It's just a, little, sorry for the glare. It's just a little like vine with some leaves and berries and stuff. But yeah, I think I will end up stitching it. I just want to measure once I get the house done and make sure that it will fit what I'm trying to do with it. Because basically I want to get this done in like the next week or 2 so I can gift it to my sister and she can hang it up for Christmas. I think I want to add their last name somewhere in it as well. So I'll have to figure out where to put that. Okay, so I'm stitching this one on not the called for. I think it was called for Witchelt Beautiful Beige. And Witchelt and I are not friends. So anyways, I don't have any Beautiful Beige because I don't have any Witchelt fabric. But what I had was, well, I don't know where I put it. Basically, I started it on Saturday night when I got home and stitched like a lot of the border and decided I didn't like the fabric because you couldn't see the white on it. There is a lot of white in this design and like it really needs to show up against the fabric. So that is why I picked this really kind of darker medium gold mottled fabric, because I really wanted the white to pop, and I think it does. So I'm really happy with it. And I know like the modeling kind of looks like a lot, but remember it'll be all trimmed down and framed and stuff. So I am using 36 count Tombstone by Atomic Ranch hand dyed fabric. And and I'm using all the called for floss colors. So it calls for some Classic Colorworks and some DMC. And I think I said it was Country Cottage Needleworks Waiting for Santa. So that's the progress on this one. I'm hoping in the next video I can show you a finish of this one. Okay, next I did a little bit of work on Winter Garden by Hello from Liz Mathews. And I'm really close to a finish. I think if I just spent one more night on this, I would have a finish. And it is so gorgeous. The silks are Gloriana, which it's not my first time stitching with Gloriana, but I think I've only used them on one color projects before. So this is my first time doing like a whole design in the called for Glorianas, and it is really, really beautiful. The colors are really, really rich and pretty and shiny. And I love them. And I'm stitching mine on 36 count antique lace by Seraphim fabrics. 1 strand over 2. Okay, and then my only other whip this week was A Merry Pair by Satsuma Street. And you know what? I don't remember if I actually started this one before I filmed my last video or not. It could have been a start. I feel like maybe I had started just a little bit of it. I can't remember. But I worked on this while we were in Houston Friday night, hanging out with my cousins. So I got just a little bit of progress on Mr. Santa. So cute. Love this. For any of you who have been looking for this chart, because I got this gifted to me. This was originally part of a Silver Needle Circle of Friends club, so it was exclusive to the club for probably about a year. And I got this gifted to me by 2 different people. Lucky girl. I gave one to my sister to stitch. But Satsuma Street has released this now in her Etsy shop. So I guess it's been like the year exclusive, you know, exclusivity thing. And so I just saw today on Instagram that this is now for sale. So if you have been wanting this chart, head over to her Etsy or wherever else you buy Satsuma Street charts. So, okay, so let's talk sewing for a minute. In last video, I told you guys that I had not been sewing because I'd been out of town for a week and then just wasn't feeling, you know, motivated to come in here and sew. Well, I spent a lot of time in here sewing these past 2 weeks, and my goal was to get my scrappy trip around the world quilt along. My goal was to get all the blocks done, all 20 blocks, and that did not happen. I'm sad to say, but I do have 16 of the 20 done. So I think I had eight of the blocks done last week, and I want to get them all done, but at least I got to 16. So I got 8 more blocks made, so I only have 4 of them left. And my new goal is to have them all done by my next quilting appointment, which is, I think, the 23rd of November. So like a week and a half from now. So I'm trying to get this quilt top finished up so I can quilt it on the 23rd, or maybe the weekend after. We'll see. I have another quilt I need to quilt on the 23rd too, so we'll kind of see how much time I have. But either way, I got a lot more blocks done. Here is just kind of, you know, well, here I have got a stack of this style of 8 and a stack of this style of 8. And they just go in 2 different directions, basically, even though they don't really look like it here. Wait, I'm holding it the wrong way. Yeah. So you can see they go in 2 different directions. I have well, it's only 2 videos so far, but I have a 2 video series on my channel all about making this scrappy trip around the world quilt. So if you're interested, I'll link the original kind of kickoff video down below. And that has links to tutorials on how to make this block and a video walkthrough by me on how to put together these blocks. And when I get the final 4 blocks made, I will make another video on laying out the quilt, sewing up the quilt top, quilting it, binding it, and like finishing off the quilt. So I'm hoping that I will have that all done and ready to be like the first video I post for Stitchmas, like in early December. So that's kind of my new goal. But I'm so happy that like I'm getting this one done, because I'm using this dark green floral as the backing of the quilt, and then this red polka dot right here as the binding. And so I just like cannot wait to get it all done. And I'm sure I showed you a photo of all 16 blocks earlier in this spiel, but here it is again. I love how it looks like kind of like Christmas ribbon candy or something. I I think pink and red, they just remind me of candy, like Starburst or something. So this quilt just looks like Christmas candy to me. And I cannot wait to be snuggling with it in December because I'm getting it done. Okay, so while we're talking about sewing, let's talk about the quilt show in Houston. So it happens every year. It's usually around Halloween, the week after, something like that. And it's a 2-weekend event. And so the first weekend is called Quilt Market. And that is basically what Needlework Market is, if you're familiar with that in Nashville, where all of the, fabric manufacturers and quilt designer or like pattern makers and basically anybody who makes products for quilting has a industry show where you can only get in if you're part of the quilting industry. So like you own a shop or you make fabric or design fabric or sell quilt patterns or, stuff like that, right? And so it's like a trade industry quilt market. And then it rolls over into the public side, which was then a shopping and quilt show event, like a judged quilt show. And I think it's the biggest one in the world. I know it used to be. I think it still is. Somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. But it is just like thousands and thousands and thousands of square feet of amazing, beautiful, beautiful quilts. Like quilts I could not even dream about trying to make because I don't know, like I think I'm probably inserting pictures as I'm talking about the quilt show of some of my favorite quilts, and they're incredible and amazing and everybody is so talented. And sometimes I see one that is like just the most amazing thing I've ever seen and it doesn't even have a ribbon next to it. And I'm like, how does this not have a ribbon? So I can't even imagine entering a quilt in a show like that, let alone winning something, because it's just like the best of the best quilts get entered. Like I noticed a lot of quilt entries from other countries. Like there was a big, large Japanese quilting section with a lot of Japanese entrants. Like, I don't know, there's just amazing, amazing things. And it is so inspiring to just go and walk and be amongst like the best kind of quilts, even if they're not quilts that I think I would ever make. They just give you ideas and inspiration on like color palettes and maybe some new type of block that they do in like miniature that I could do in like a normal size, right? That wouldn't take me all of my life to complete. But it's just so inspirational. So I'm so happy we went. We did do some shopping, but I don't even think my mom bought anything, and I bought so very little. So I'll show you what I bought, but my haul is not that exciting. We spent most of the time playing with long arms and trying to talk me out of buying one of those little baby, like 4-foot quilting frames that you can use like your home sewing machine on. Because, oh, guys, I just really want a long arm so bad, but I don't have the space for it right now. I mean, this little 10 by 11 bedroom of mine that I use as a craft room is stuffed to the gills, overflowing everywhere. And so, a normal size quilt machine wouldn't even fit in here because you need like a 14 or 15 foot long room to really comfortably have like a 10-foot frame. And so, I thought maybe I'll get like a tabletop quilt machine or a quilt frame that you can use your like home machine on. And so Juki had one that specifically worked with my Juki sewing machine. But I'd have to like use it at the dining room table, and it would only have like an 8-inch, kind of quilting throat space because it's as big as your sewing machine, right? I don't have a long arm sewing machine. I have a Juki. It's got about 8 inches of space, which is good, but not great. And I'm like, would I really want to use it as much as I would just go use like the rental long arms I already use? So I didn't buy it. I think I'm just going to wait till I have a bigger house with space and get a full size, like probably on the low end price-wise, but like a full-size long arm. So my dream waits. Someday I will have a long arm, but not today. But that's what we spent most of our time doing. But I also bought a couple of things, although one of them I can't find right now, and it's because the cats were playing in the bag. I brought like this like tote bag to the quilt show, and I know the cats were playing in it, and so I need to go look under my bed or under my nightstand and see if they like knocked this pattern under there, because I know I got a quilt pattern. But anyways, whatever. Let me show you what I got. Okay, so first thing, I went back and found my favorite Studio Cat Designs zippers at the same booth I got them at last year. And if you remember, I used the black and white stripe one I got last year to do my Halloween EPP bag, project bag. And I got a red and white one that I'm going to use on my Christmas EPP bag. And so I just went ahead and got another black and another red, just so, if I want to make any more similar bags. I have extra zippers. I don't know. I just saw them and I bought them. I also got a English paper piecing product that I have seen in Tula Pink's videos, and I think she has her own designs of these, but they're called Sew Tights, and I got the light mix, which I think are, oh, they're not just, they're not as strong. Okay, I got these because I liked the designs. I didn't realize that I got the kind of lighter weight magnets, which I'm totally fine with. I don't need the super heavy duty. I'm just sewing little tiny hexies together. But anyways, I got a 3-pack just because I thought the designs were cute. I didn't even realize that it was kind of a different lighter weight sew tights. But anyways, 3 sew tights in these little designs, and you use these for holding your EPP pieces together while you hand sew. And so you can use like Wonder Clips or something, or just hold them, but you can also just use these little double-sided magnets, basically like a needle minder, to just sandwich your hexies together, and then you don't have to hold on to them, like, except just to sew, you know, like, and they won't shift around at all. So that's why I got those. I know I'm missing 2 things, so that's so frustrating. I know I got some embroidery patterns to make quilt labels, and I bet that is just like under my bed. It probably just got knocked out of the bag under the bed. So I'll try to remember to bring it next time. But this booth had these super cool iron-on quilt labels, and so you would iron it onto like plain or whatever kind of fabric you wanted, but like a white fabric, and then you would embroider over the lines to make like a quilt label. And so I would definitely not do it for every quilt I make, because who has time for that? But for like a really special quilt, I figured it would be fun to have those kind of special like embroidery type, you know, quilt labels on hand to use. So I will try, maybe if I find them, I'll insert a picture here or something, or I'll bring them to my next video. Okay, so I have one piece of Happy Mail, and that came from Ginger Shull, who you might know from Instagram. She has an amazing Instagram page full of really inspirational, beautiful cross-stitch pieces. She stitches all kinds of stuff. Go check her out and follow her. But last week when I showed you guys my Mill Hill kit, where I had forgotten to add some of the beads and then had thrown away the extras, the horror. So many of you guys reached out asking for the type of beads and offering to send them to me if you had them. So the first person who I was able to respond back to was Ginger, and she had the exact beads I needed. And so they're in like a little leftover pack, probably not from the same kit, because there's some other beads in here I don't recognize, but this little red shiny one is like, oh, I don't even know if you can see it, but like, anyways, they're in this bag. Ginger, thank you so much. So I haven't added them yet. I just have to add like 5 beads, and then I can finish this into an ornament. So thank you again, everyone, for offering, and Ginger for sending those beads. Yay, thank you. Okay, so I have kind of an epic amount of haul to show you. I feel like I was being really good for a month or 2 and not buying anything, but oops, everything's been arriving. The first package that came early 2 weeks ago was from Fat Quarter Shop, and it had that hoop-de-doo pattern for Feed Me, the plants that I showed you at the start of the video. And I also got 2 other of the hoop-de-doo charts because I think they're all really, really cute. So this one is Cookies for Santa, which is adorable. And then I got Holiday Baking. So very similar vibes, but different. And I think one of these is probably going to be a gift, and one of them will be for me. So I got to make that decision. And I also got an extra hoop, because I got a 2-pack of those hoops I talked to you about earlier. So one of these, you know, will get finished, and then I'll need to order some more hoops. But what was the point of that sentence? Either way, I have more plans to make these and do more hoop finishes, because I really, really liked how that hoop finish turned out, and it was really easy to do. The other chart I got in that package was the new one from Jeanette Douglas called Christmas Cheer Pin Pillows. And I hope there's not too bad of a glare on this. They are so adorable. So amazing. And they call for Roxy Floss Company, which is by Evertote. And I've never stitched with that before. And so I was on their website like a week or so ago, and I didn't see a floss pack for this, but I need to go check again. Or maybe I can just order the flosses individually because I want to test them out. And this is the first chart I've ever bought that called for them. So that's amazing. I can just buy, you know, like I don't have to do a thread conversion. I can just buy the called for colors and stitch up these adorable, adorable little pillows. There's one of these that I'm kind of thinking about trying to do as a gift in the next week and a half. I need to sit down and think about that later. I think I'm trying to put too much on myself. We're going to Indiana the week after Thanksgiving. So I think we leave on the 29th of November to go visit Rob's family for a week because it's a little bit less expensive to go after Thanksgiving than to go the week of Thanksgiving. So, and then we're going to spend 2 days in Chicago, and we're going to go to the Chris Kendall Market in downtown Chicago, which I'm very excited to do because I've never been, and I've never been to any type of like German Christmas market. And, you know, you watch the like holiday Christmas movies, right? Everybody's going to Christmas markets. I want to go to one. So I was like, Rob, we're doing 2 nights in Chicago so I can go do Christmassy fun things. And I think I've convinced him that we should also ice skate in like Millennium Park, which we're going to be there on a Monday and a Tuesday. So 1, I have to make sure things are open. And 2, I'm not a Chicagoan, but Chicagoans, let me know like how crazy does it get downtown early December for doing those kind of Christmassy things. Anyways, I need to like just start showing y'all what I got for my haul and stop talking because we're going to be here for like another hour. Okay, I got another Fat Quarter Shop order, and one of the charts I got was Prairie Schooler, The 12 Days of Christmas. After finishing my Prairie Schooler Christmas Eve last time, I've just been like feeling the Prairie Schoolers. And so, I bought that 12 Days of Christmas, which I really want to do. And then I bought, Christmas Samplers 1 and 2. So here is the first Christmas Samplers. And the one I want to do is that middle one, which is the 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I've always loved it. I don't know why I never bought the chart, but I bought the chart and I love that middle one. And then I bought Christmas Samplers 2, but the one I really want to do is the Happy Christmas to All, which is on this side. So that's my favorite one out of that chart. I doubt I'll start either of one of these this year, or maybe I'll just get crazy and start them all. But you know, I wanted them on hand just in case. So, and I also got one other Prairie Schooler, but it's not Christmas. It's called Summer Breeze. And I really love the big full design right here called Summer Breeze. So, got that one. I also threw in this order a little piece of quilt fabric, which is these white with black hearts, and some of the black hearts have little sayings on them, kind of like conversation hearts. Not all of them, but some of them say sweet talk, love you, true love, be mine. I just thought it was like a really cute Valentine's fabric without being like over the top red and pink. Because sometimes you need a little bit of black and white to balance out all the red and pink. Speaking of, I just noticed looking in the camera, red and pink. Always in red and pink. Okay, I also got floss. I'm not going to unbundle it, but I got this little wad of floss, and that's a really cool saying, wad of floss. And it's to go with this chart called Merry Notes by Shepherd's Bush. I've had this in my stash a few years now and wanted to start it, but it has kind of a long list of called for colors, which I'd never kitted up. And it has a lot of backstitch and buttons and beads, which I've got here in this little pack. And I don't know why I had never started it, but I hadn't. And I've actually never done a Shepherd's Bush chart. And Pam and Steph of Just Keep Stitching did a Shepherd's Bush shop tour in their Stitch West recap video, which was an excellent video. They did a bunch of shop tours, and I have a lot of haul courtesy of their shop tours. And the first thing was getting all the floss kitted up for this Merry Notes. And this is one I want to start before Christmas this year. So really hoping to get a start on this one soon, because now I've got all the little floss. And another store they did a shop tour of was Pine Needles in Utah. And it's a quilt store, and they also do cross stitch, and it's amazing. And I have now been on their website, and yes, they do ship because I got a box of stuff. So let me show you what I got from Pine Needles. Thank you, Pam and Steph, for enabling me. Okay, So the first thing I got, which I did not see on Buttermilk Basin's website, so I don't know if it's exclusive to Pine Needles. I did not see that information. Maybe you can also get it from Buttermilk Basin in store. I don't know, but I hadn't seen this and I loved it. And it is very similar to the candy cane wall hanging that I completed that I showed you in my last video, but it's ho ho ho, and it's a little Santa belt around the O as the wool applique. It's so cute, and the fabric, sorry for the crinkle, the fabrics are so good. So it's a full kit, everything you need except for the backing. And yeah. How many little wall hangings for Christmas do I need in my house? I think at least 2 because I got a second one. I also got, is this Buttermilk Basin? No, I think this is Pine Needle's own brand, if I'm remembering correctly. It was only $8, and it's a little wool kit to make Jack's cat in a party hat. So it's a little Halloween one, which of course I'm late for now, but this would be great to do next year. It's just so cute. So anyways, I got this little kit. It's only $8, so it had to go in there. And then the other thing I got is also a kit because I don't know. And it is a Riley Blake Designs Table Runner of the Month, and it's called Love Notes. So here's what the box looks like, and here is what the quilt design looks like. So I love having like a fun table runner on my dining room table, and I don't have a Christmas one. So I actually was originally looking for a Christmas table runner on their site, like a kit, and didn't find one I loved, but I loved this Valentine's one. So I was like, yeah, let me grab that. I'm still on the lookout for a Christmas table runner. I have the latest Doug Lico Table-tastic 3 book, which is all about table toppers. So it obviously has some runner patterns in there, which I have a ton of Christmas fabric, so I should probably just pick a runner that I love from his book and use my Christmas fabric. But if anyone else knows of, you know, really cool, what am I trying to say? Really cool, like, Christmassy table runners, send me links. Sorry, I got distracted because pull it back together. I got distracted because I just noticed that the quilt pattern that's included in this Riley Blake Designs box is by Sandra Workman, and I think she is the owner of Pine Needles, so I had no idea that she also designed patterns for Riley Blake. That's cool. So anyways, I'm obsessed with the Pine Needles store and their online shop, and I'm gonna be shopping there more in the future. Apologies if I've enabled anyone else to go check out what they have online, because, yeah, love them. Oh, also, they sent me a cute little gift, which is, I think it's a Riley Blake, like, de-linter. So it says, "Oh, happy day" on it, and it's like one of those, like, you just, like, you know, get threads off your clothes. Which I always need because I always am wearing yoga pants when I'm in here and sewing, and I just have tiny threads like coating my thighs because I just like drop threads in my lap, drop fabric in my lap. So this will come in handy to try to like de-thread myself before I leave this room. So okay, another thing I got in the mail, actually just I think today, is from Sweetwater Quilt Company, or the sweetwatercompany.com. Here's their little card. And I got some more custom printed quilt labels. So last time I ordered, I got a sampler pack. And so this time what I did is I got one new sampler pack of these designs, which are super pretty. And then I wanted just kind of like one design a bunch of times with no date on it so I can use them, you know, whenever, because if I put like 2022 on it, then this would, you know, that would be the, well, we're going into 2023. If I put like 2023 on a quilt label, that would be the year I made like 2 quilts, and then I'd have like 12 labels go to waste. So what I did is I got this design with just Made with Love by Elizabeth Black. So I can use them whenever, wherever, and they're really good, like kind of small size, so I can use them on smaller wall hanging, table runner type projects, and then also on big quilts. And I did get 2 sheets of these. I think there's 15 on a sheet, so 30 of them. So this should at least last me a couple of years, depending on, you know, how many quilts I get to make. yeah. So those are from Sweetwater. I will put the link to them below because a lot of people have asked whenever I add a quilt label where they're from. So they're from Sweetwater, and they have an Etsy, and they also have like a standalone website. But anyways, you can find them either place. You can customize them either place. They work great. You can iron them on or you can sew them in. Okay, I think this is my last bit of haul, and it is my Mocha Fat Quarter Club from the Fat Quarter shop. And this month it was Fig Tree Cinnamon and Cream. So it's 12 fat quarters from the Cinnamon and Cream fabric line. And they're just really, really gorgeous fall colors. So no idea what I will use these for yet, but I'll let them stay bundled together while I ruminate. And then they might end up just getting folded and put in color order with my other fat quarters, or maybe I'll come up with an idea for using all 12 of them. But just really, really pretty fabrics. So happy to have that. Okay, I think that's all the haul. We made it. We made it to the giveaway. Last week in my video, I offered up a $50 gift card to Etsy. You just had to enter with the word Halloween and be a subscriber. And the winner of the Etsy gift card is Sandra Moore. So congratulations, Sandra. Go ahead and email me at the link below and send me your, well, no, you don't need to send me your address. Just email me and I'll get you your Etsy gift card sent over to your email. So thank you everybody so much for entering. I'll definitely do another one for Christmas coming up, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so I think we've made it to the end of the video. Let's see, what is coming up? So I will be back here in 2 weeks, which I think is the Sunday after Thanksgiving, to do a video. And then a couple days after that is when we will be going to Indiana and to Chicago. So I'm really hoping to be able to go to House of Stitches in LaPorte, Indiana while we're there. I went, I believe in May 2021, one of our very first trip, or my first trip to South Bend, we drove through LaPorte and went to House of Stitches. So I think I'm going to try and make it over there again. We're flying in at night, so we won't be able to go on our way from Chicago. So anyways, I'll have to figure out another time. It's only like 45 minutes, I think, from South Bend, so I can probably just like wake up early one morning and drive over there. What else do we have going on? So I guess in my next video, it'll still be November. So hopefully, and it'll also be the end of my week off from work. So hopefully I'll have a better picture of like what I actually managed to get filmed in terms of like tutorials and Stitchmas type videos. I might do a couple like lives too, sprinkled in December, where it's just more of like a Stitch with me chat, you know, ask questions type of video, like kind of low key. And that way, like, I don't have to edit anything and I can just like jump on here and stitch for an hour and chit chat with anyone who wants to join. So yeah, I'll try to get that more organized and I'll tell you guys more about it, in my video 2 weeks from now. So yeah. I think that's everything I have to share today. So thank you guys so much for joining me week after week. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.